it's Stephanie, and today I'm here to share a card I'm going to create with the new Deasy Designs Floral Fusion stamp set. My plan here is to stamp on glitter, so what I'm doing is I'm using this double-sided sticky adhesive paper. It comes in sheets in 8.5 by 11, or you can also buy it in rolls in various widths, so lots of variety as far as what you can get. And I'm just peeling off the backing paper there and adhering this to a piece of white cardstock. Any cardstock will do. You're not going to see it. It's just the backing of your finished piece. And then you can either just do a normal shape or a square or a circle. For this one here, I'm going to use this Matte Stack 5-die from Paper Tray Ink. And you can see there now I have it cut out. And I'm just going to lift up the end of the backing there, just enough that I can sprinkle some of the glitter onto the stickiness and burnish it on there a bit so I have somewhere for my fingers to hold it. I just don't want to touch my fingers directly to the adhesive, just because it'll take some of that stickiness away, and you want to keep it super sticky to grab all that glitter. And the glitter I'm using here is Glitter Ritz Microfine Cool Highlight. So the microfine is the key. You need the microfine glitter in order for this to work how I'm doing it here with the burnishing on with my finger. So I'm just rubbing it all over that sticky area and pushing it down in. And once I've completely finished doing this and tap off the extra, that glitter does not come off. So it's great for card making because you don't send a card to someone and then open it and they have glitter all over themselves. Once it's on, it stays on. So it's really nice. So now I'm going to stamp directly on this glittered piece, and you want to use archival ink because it's a permanent, waterproof, it's a good perfect ink that'll work on here. And I'm just inking up this flower from the Floral Fusion stamp set, and I'm going to stamp it directly onto this glitter piece, and it ends up looking fantastic. The black is so crisp on the glitter. You wouldn't think stamping on glitter would look that perfect, but it actually looks really, really great. So this is the perfect ink to use for this technique. So I'm just stamping it on there. There you can see now it's nice and stamped on there, and you just want to let it dry for a few minutes, which I did. I obviously just jumped ahead in the video though. And it looks kind of funny there because that's actually a mask over top of it that I cut out of some Inkadinkado masking paper because I want to stamp these leaves onto it and have them look like they're coming from underneath the flower. And since it's one-dimensional, I needed to put the masking paper over top of the flower so that I didn't stamp over top of my flower image. So I'm just figuring out where I want to put this other leaf, and I'm just going to put it down there. And then once I've done that, you just carefully want to take the masking paper off of the flower. Just in case your ink's not fully dry, you just want to make sure you take your time peeling that off. And once that has peeled off, then you have your full image and you have your leaves perfectly placed underneath of your flower, and you are ready to do some coloring. So for this, you can use any kind of marker. You can use stamp markers, American Craft ones. You can use memento markers. All kinds of different markers will work. And as you can see there, sorry, I forgot to mention, I want to have a little bit of dimension to the flower. So I actually cut another section of the sticky adhesive and added glitter, and then re-stamp that flower and cut out the center area. So I don't know if you can tell on camera, but that center piece is glittery as well. And I'm going to adhere that on top of the flower so that I have somewhere to anchor my sentiment banner underneath of when it's time to put the card together. So now I'm going to start coloring my flower, and I'm using Copics because they're permanent in color. So once you put them on, they don't come off of that glitter. But you have to keep in mind that the archival ink and the Copics do not go together. So if you hit the edges of the stamped area where the ink is with your Copics, it's going to cause that ink to bleed. And you're going to get ink on your marker tip, and not usually the best look. Now, here in this part of the video, I put some green on there, and now I'm using my blender pen to kind of pull some of the color down the leaf so that it's got a little bit of a shaded look instead of a full solid color. So you can do that. That just adds a little bit more color, or I'm sorry, a little bit more coloring to the area though, so you definitely risk even more that you're going to start making that archival ink bleed into your color. And the Copics, all you have to do is dab them. You don't, like, if you can tell if you kind of watch, I'm just kind of doing very, very lightly, and I'm just kind of dabbing the color around, and then it just spreads out over the glitter. So as I go here though, I'm going to jump ahead I think in a minute here and color that flower. And I end up touching a lot of the areas of the flower with the pink. And normally I would not like that look, and I wouldn't like that it kind of made it bleed and wick a bit. But because it's a flower image, I actually really liked the way it ended up looking, and it was fine for me to use them on my card. So as you can see, I jumped way ahead here now, and I've started to put the card base together. So what I've done is I've just put some pattern paper along the center there with a solid dark pink strip on the top and bottom, and I've pre-cut and stamped my banner image, which is a stamp from Simon Says Stamp, and a banner die cut from My Favorite Things. I think they're banner stacks, or I can't remember the exact name. I'll have it linked though. So I'm just going to adhere that. I've adhered the glitter piece, and I'm going to figure out exactly where the top piece that layers is going to sit, and then I'm going to place my banner so that it fits perfectly underneath it there and doesn't get covered by that flower piece once I add it on top. So I'm just trying to figure out there which way that flower piece goes. I couldn't get the lines to line up, but now that we have it, I'm just figuring out how I want to put that banner. I wanted to put it down a little bit where we can kind of see I was playing with it there, but because of the shape of the flower and how I had cut it out, I wasn't able to do that, so I had to move it up into the center a little bit more. So I'm just going to push that down on there, and then I'm going to put dimensional adhesive onto that top piece, and I'm going to adhere that with the foam adhesive and then place that right on top, and then the banner comes right out from the middle of the flower. I really like doing that with butterflies, flowers, any type of image like that where you can kind of either make a smaller stamped image or cut out the center area and then pop dot it above. I just think it looks kind of neat to have that banner coming directly out of the stamped image. So now you can see there I'm just adding that to the top there, and now I have all the main pieces intact, but I need to put gems on the center of the flower. So you can see I did there's 3 gems in the center, and they help to cover up a little bit the bleeding of the black ink, because in the center of the flower is where it was the more concentrated of it, because there was just such small areas to color that it really bled through. So I covered that area with gems, and it really helped to tone down where that black ink had moved around. And then I just added a couple more small gems just to give it a little bit more something over in the right hand side there where the banner points out. And to finish it off, you can see it in my angle there in the camera how glittery that piece is. It looks so great in real life. So, and to finish it off, I just used my We Are Memories corner rounder and rounded the corners. So thanks so much for watching. See you next time.